Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another Fortnite video, and today we are doing something very different, and that is talking a little bit about the comet or the meteor that's supposed to be hitting Tilted Towers on April 18th. Now, I know you guys have probably been super sick of hearing this same story over and over, but basically in today's video I wanted to kind of take all the information and all the little pieces of proof that we have scattered around the community and the internet and piece them all together and kind of bring that all to you guys in one relatively quick video. Now, of course, there is still a small chance that this may not happen. Maybe it's some elaborate joke, or maybe it's just some wild coincidence, but I truly believe this is happening, and I'm pretty sure for the most part the entire community agrees with it, or at least most people. One more thing I wanted to mention is that I'm actually doing yet another V-Bucks giveaway. On my last video, which was the Retail Road Treasure Map Location Guide, we actually ended up giving away 14 million V-Bucks. You guys absolutely showed me so much love, and today we're upping the ante even more and we're giving away 69 million V-Bucks. Take that number in, guys. What a grand number. Absolutely fantastic stuff right there. And you know, it's such a crazy amount of V-Bucks that it almost seems fake, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, guys, all you gotta do is drop a like on the video and you get it just like that. So let's get this video popping. As always, smash that like button. Let's get right into it. So we're going to be starting this video off very easily and talking about something that basically everybody within Fortnite noticed if they've been playing recently, and that is that telescopes were added all across the map on top of hills, and this was in a March 29th or March 30th update. I don't know the exact date, but it was around there, and that's when the update came, and a lot of people started noticing that, hey, there's a bunch of telescopes on top of these hills, and there's chests around them and an RV, and when you look up in the sky around the 15 to 30 coordinate mark, there is something bright in the sky. It's glowing blue. It's not that big in size, but it definitely looks like a meteor or a comet. Now, if we fast forward about a week, it seems as though the meteor or the comet is a little bit bigger in the sandbox. Now, obviously it did not grow. That is not how meteors work. Something cannot just grow randomly like that when they're flying in the sky. The way that it works is that it's getting closer to us, and thus it appears bigger on our screens. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a video of me taking a look at it, and obviously if we compare it to the last image, it does look bigger. Now, I'm not too sure if this is confirmed or not, but this is just something that I've noticed and a few others have noticed, and so that would lead me to believe that the meteor or comet is coming closer, and of course we are closer to finding out what's going to happen once this thing strikes our map. So another piece of information that we're going to take a look at is controller vibrations that were translated into Morse code. Now, a lot of you guys probably have heard about this, but on consoles, specifically PS4 and Xbox One, there were random controller vibrations that were occurring, and there were some patterns to them. So a random vibration would happen when somebody was flying into the map, or when they would pull their parachute, or be in specific locations, and there was two types of vibrations. One was a light vibration, which was subtle and only lasted for a second, while there was a harder vibration which lasted for 1.5 seconds. And so somebody basically put this all together into a pattern and observed that there was 4 patterns in total. It intrigued the person, and he decided to translate it into Morse code, and would you look at that, it turned out to be correct, and the message was SOS D5 418. Now, obviously SOS means save our souls. It's kind of like a cry for help that people send out when they're in deep shit, and D5 is basically coordinates on a map. Doesn't really take a genius to figure that out, and if you go ahead and look at the Fortnite map, D5 lines up perfectly with, you guessed it, Tilted Towers. Now, the interesting thing here is that it does not align with the entire Tilted Towers area, just the northern part of the map. So what I'm thinking personally is that this meteor is going to hit the top half of Tilted Towers, and the rest of it will stay intact. And that way, that would really balance out the map and make it so that there's not an overwhelming amount of loot in Tilted, just enough for it to be, you know, a decent sized place where you can go to. And then 418 is the one thing that people really disagreed on. At first, 418 was translated into April 1st, 2018, and that of course was April Fool's Day, so a lot of people thought this whole thing was BS and that it was a joke, myself included. But now that we take a look at it, 418 doesn't translate into 4 into April 1st, 2018, because how could the 8 translate into 2018? That just doesn't really make much sense. So there's two theories. It could be April 2018, which is just basically any time within April, or it could be April 18th, which is 418. So I personally think it's 418, and I'm going to describe why I think so a little bit later on in the video, actually at the very end of it, and it might blow your minds because not too many people have been talking about this, but I really think there's a connection, and we'll get to that a little bit later. So that is the Morse code translation. Obviously that was put there on purpose by Epic Games, and that's just further proof that there is some sort of mass event that is coming very soon. We're going to go ahead and crawl even deeper down the rabbit hole, and trust me, this thing keeps on going and going. This was posted by Reddit user Alec15, and he says his friend solved the Tilted Towers conspiracy. I'm not going to read this entire post, but basically I'm going to skim through it. The founder of Epic Games, which is Tim Sweeney, started his career by making an old video game called ZZT, which released in 1991. In the game, there's an odd scene where a city gets hit by a meteor, and I'm going to put that on screen right now. And as you guys can see, there is definitely a meteor hitting a bunch of towers. Definitely depicts something that we're expecting to see in Fortnite very soon, and who knows, maybe this guy just has a fetish of meteors hitting cities. I don't know, but anyways, he merged together with a Polish company after he made Epic Games, and that nearly tripled his company's net worth. Later on, the company and him parted ways, but many people believe this is why the map of Fortnite is based around the actual country in real life. Now obviously what I'm going to do is put up a picture right now on screen of not only the country but Fortnite side to side, and it's very weird. They look very similar in terms of their size. Now, not only their size is what's, similar between them, there's also a bunch of cities in the country and destinations on Fortnite that are identical. Now, one example of that is Retail Row and Warsaw. They're both shopping centers, big shopping cities or whatever, and if you put the maps right on top of each other, they line up in the same position for the most part. Now, there's also a few other cities that kind of have this very strange relationship, but the one specifically that I want to take a look at is a city by the name of Poznan. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but it was a town which had an asteroid hit it, and it was its most densely populated city, in which on the map of Fortnite is Tilted Towers. So the correlation is crazy, and it was called the Marasco Meteorite Reserve. His friend believed that there's a possibility that it will hit the borders of Tilted, just like it did in the real life situation in the city, and that actually kind of corroborates my theory of where I believe that it's only going to hit the top portion of Tilted Towers, because again, the message we got in Morse code was D5, which is only the top section of Tilted Towers. So very spooky stuff here, man. The founder of Epic Games has a fetish for meteors hitting towers, that is for sure, and he's definitely quite cryptic. Alright, now we're really getting into the juicy pieces of information that prove that a comet does exist within the game. This was posted by Reddit user Iron Rectangle, and he says comet in the sky confirmed in source files. If we go ahead and click on those two pictures, they're going to be on screen right now. You guys can see that this first one kind of looks like a missile, and it's titled as an SM_comet_phase 2, and it's obviously an asset within the game files. Now, it's very interesting that this is phase 2 of the comet. I really wonder what phase 1 looks like, and that kind of correlates to my theory earlier on in the video that the comet did get bigger in size within the game. And who knows, maybe this comet existed in the sky for a month, but it was so small that nobody really looked up and noticed it there, or maybe they thought it was a star. So very interesting. That means we're currently in phase 2 of the meteor, and I really want to see how this thing looks in phase 3. When the weekly reset comes next week during Thursday morning, I really wonder if the comet's going to change shape or color or anything like that, and I probably think it will, and that's going to be pretty damn awesome. Now, the second photo is also a comet asset. This is titled SM Comet Center. I'm not too sure exactly what this is supposed to indicate, but it is shaped like an Easter egg, which is pretty funny because this whole thing is just one giant Easter egg for the community to solve. So there are the two photos, and that proves that a comet does exist within the game files themselves. Next up, we're actually going to be taking a look at the Battle Pass items themselves to see if there's some sort of pattern that we can find within Season 3. Now, there are 22 days left of Season 3, but that does not mean that we can't go back and look at some of the stuff that they have to offer. So obviously, the first thing we had was an astronaut suit. Then we had some sort of egg that was hatching. That's kind of similar to maybe a dinosaur egg hatching. We have some paw prints, and then the further we go, the more things we find. Obviously, right here we have yet another astronaut suit. This one is the different colored one titled Moonwalker, and there's just all sorts of stuff that really indicates that something's going to happen. So another astronaut suit right here called the Dark Voyager, and a few pages down we have one that's very interesting to me specifically, and that's the Kaboom one. Now, Kaboom, obviously some sort of massive explosion or disaster that totally correlates to the asteroid or comet hitting. Again, we have a symbol right here of something striking something and creating some kind of explosion. And finally, for the last page, we have a dinosaur fossil of its head specifically, so hinting at some sort of extinction. So there's a lot of things in this Season 3 Battle Pass that you guys may have missed, but it's all hinting towards the same exact thing, the whole space theme as well as extinction and dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff. So very fascinating. So on that same note, we have this dinosaur skin that was sold about 2 weeks ago. Now this fits that same theme that I was just talking about in the Battle Pass, but take a look at the backpack and you're going to notice something eerily similar to this skin called the Raven that was sold only a few days ago. For those of you who don't know, the Raven is a sign of death, and maybe that means death to the dinosaurs. And what killed the dinosaurs? The comet or the meteor. You guys know the story. Now, actually, if you even look at the backpack, I didn't notice this until now, that you have those spikes on the backpack as well. So it looks like the dinosaur did die, and the Raven is carrying his backpack, the same one, minus the fur, minus the meat. Only the spikes and the side kind of look like rib cages, and even on the top, there's a little bit of fur left. So it all kind of fits that exact theme that I was talking about. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in regards to this Meteor event is a promotion that happened last month on Twitter. Now, obviously, I have no proof that this was a promotion of any kind, but I really do think that Epic Games basically had held this paid promotion on Twitter, and you guys probably heard all about this. It was a viral tweet basically of a voicemail with military messages inside, and of course, what this actually ended up decoding into was some sort of SOS message, and the date was for April 18th, 2018. Surprise, surprise, where have we heard that same date before?
Uniform, Sierra, Tango, Hotel, Echo, Yankee, Alpha, Romeo, Echo, November, Oscar, Tango, Hotel, Uniform, Mike, Alpha, November. 0429339664.
So that's a short sample of the Twitter voicemail, the military one that went absolutely viral, and I hate to break it to you guys, the world is not ending and there's no alien invasion that is happening on April 18th. Instead, we are witnessing one of the greatest and most wicked marketing campaigns of all time by a company that deserves to be called one of the best in the industry. They are seriously going above and beyond, and Epic Games is just yet again showing us why they are the best. Now, I'm very excited for April 18th because not only do I think the comet or meteor is going to hit Tilted Towers and destroy half of it, but I also think that this is something that Epic is investing a lot of time and resources into, and I think there's going to be something else that is happening. Now, a theory that's going around the internet right now is that Save the World will be launched for free on April 18th alongside the comet coming and hitting Tilted Towers. The reason being is because the Twitter voicemail mentioned something about aliens and how it's dire that we have to leave or something like that. And of course, there are aliens already in Fortnite PvE, and a lot of people just simply don't play Fortnite Save the World because everybody is in love with the BR. And in Save the World, there are already zombies and aliens and all that kind of stuff. So what I think this voicemail is an ARG. Other games have done it in the past, like Halo 2, and movies such as The Cloverfield Lane, as well as Red Ready Player One have done this in the past, and they have done it very successfully. Essentially, what you're trying to do is make an event in real life that you get everybody excited for and talking about, and then you kind of reveal at the last second that, oh, by the way, this is just one big marketing campaign. So I'm just very excited to see how this all pans out. I think Epic Games are doing an amazing job right now with marketing, and whatever happens on April 18th, it is going to be absolutely epic. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. If there's something that you learned about this Easter egg, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Again, drop a like, subscribe for more Fortnite gameplay, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.